Hi, Kate. Welcome. Thank you for taking a few minutes to chat with me. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, for anyone who's watching before we dive in, I just want to give a little bit of a background on who Dr. Kate Purvis is. She's a naturopathic doctor focusing on postpartum care, but not just your typical postpartum care. She's really focused on, beyond the baby. How are we supporting mom and how are we supporting the mama and baby dyad? Especially with, I'll let Kate get into this later, but with how much we focus on the baby, sometimes the mom can feel left behind. And so, ultimately, what we ended up doing together, a couple months ago now, is we did a brand new web in a day. And so, really, within 8 hours, I was pulling out all of the information from Dr. Kate's brain, both visually and the work she does and the kind of person that she is. So that way I could create a web experience that really houses all of her information and expertise. So we are going to just dive right in. I would love to know just how things are going since we work together. Have there been any big changes or just what's happening with the business?
Yeah, everything's going really, really well. No huge changes with the business as a whole. But I definitely feel like I have gotten more of my ideal client, kind of from how everything is just put together on my website, which is pretty remarkable. I think in particular because you were able to take the jumbled mess that was in my head and put it on the webpage in such a coherent way. And my business is a little bit like I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Like it's pretty like piecemeal. Like there's not just one signature project that I work on. And the way that you were able to kind of weave the thread through all of those pieces was really remarkable. Um yeah.
That's great. No, I love that you're getting ideal clients. And of
Mhm.
course, that is like my expertise is pulling the jumbled mess out of people's brains and putting it together in a way that really guides your users through that flow. So I'm so happy that you're seeing that and that it's evangelizing in some way. So that's super awesome. I love to hear that. And I can't wait to see too, because I know, like we said, we only worked together a few months ago, but just how this expands and allows you to expand in the future as far as like adding additional services and offerings. So also for all of you watching, go check out her services page. She does offer a wide range of things, but it's really awesome to also see how they all work together. And I think that's what you mean by the piecemeal is um is the fact that, everybody's journey is different. And so it's not just like this one linear process for any specific mom or baby for postpartum care. And so, yeah, I mean, I've heard only great things. I'm also in my third trimester. I'm sure I'll be hitting you up with questions. And so, I love working with people like you because then I get my instant go-to resources.
Well, it was funny because through you, somebody found my website, and I was just on a podcast with somebody talking about postpartum pelvic floor stuff, and it's so funny kind of how that it links up, right? When you work with mamas.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It's all like it literally takes a village and we are
Yep,
creating the village.
yep, exactly.
Awesome. So what made you choose working with Daytime Design Co. and how would you describe working with me? Especially I get the most questions I get are around my brand and web in a day packages because everyone's like, truly, like, how is that possible? Is it even good? Like, what does that feel like? And so since you were one of my first people that went through, I'd love to just know how you got to that decision making and how you felt about the process.
Yeah. Yeah, I found you through MME. I found you that way, but I've been stalking your work for probably since I first joined. I mean, I think you posted one of your case studies up and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." And so I was stalking you for a while, and then you popped up with the website in a day, or webpage in a day, I don't know what you're calling it. And I have to jump on this. This is amazing. And I didn't really know how it was going to work because how could you possibly build this all out in a day? I didn't really, but I was like, I got to try it. We'll see how it goes. And literally the first 30 seconds of popping on that first call with you the morning, I was like, oh, yeah, she's got it. I don't have any worries, any concerns about this. Because I think you came back with just this incredible amount of information with the vision board and all of this stuff in just that first hour. And every check-in that we had throughout the day, you had so much done. It was just mind-blowing. You were able to perfectly kind of put together what I had in my brain and do it so fast. It was so incredible. And I don't have a background in web design. I have no idea how long that takes, but it seems like it shouldn't just take a day, but you were able to do it, which is amazing.
Yeah, so secret for anyone listening. It's honestly, I think a lot of it is because of if you remember the onboarding work that we did together and like the intake questionnaire and the shared Pinterest board that we put together. And so that helped me dive in logically before we even did anything pen to paper. And then also it's just a matter of, I may only be a year into owning my own business, but I've been doing this kind of work for well over a decade. And so part of it's just like that expertise and like that feeling and being able to pull those little nuggets out of you to really see what your vision is. It's so interesting too. So in one of these calls, I with another gal, Larissa, she was saying like it really only works when you're working with people who are willing to dive in deep and like show all of their cards. And that's exactly what you gave me. You're like, here's this thing over here. And it's like the content is working, the design is not. Here's this thing over here. Here's what I actually do just from like my soul. And then here's like things that inspire me. Now, how do we put them all together? So you just like really let me in. And that's what makes this really powerful.
Think
Uh,
part of even your onboarding process, the questions were they caught me so off guard because they were getting to that deep stuff, the stuff that really matters. And I was like, okay, like we'll go there. And so I think even the questions that you were asking really were able to kind of pull that side out, and get kind of different information that I think I don't know that I would have been able to tell another, web designer or another designer, even, kind of even go there with them. So I think
yeah.
part of it is your approach in general.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I love that reflection because yeah, I'm like, tell me all of your secrets. And that's funny too because I honestly like will only, I take a bunch of discovery calls, but it only makes sense to work with people that you're really vibing with because otherwise you do hit that like that rock in a hard place. And so it's totally a trust factor. And I think that even in the short time we work together, we just really earned that trust with each other. And that's what makes this partnership so beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. So, and my otter keeps trying to jump in here, so I just keep denying that. Um, were there any sort of unexpected results from the work? And it doesn't have to be like metric results, but was there any like feedback that you've gotten on the work that we did together or any, like you had mentioned, the ideal clients coming through? Was there anything else in that regard around the new brand and website we set up for you?
Honestly, like I think that it helped me get clear on my actual business itself, which is I've been doing this, I've been in practice for 10 years, but I really just started my business a couple of years ago, and I feel like it made me get really clear on who I want to work with and why I'm working with them and really what my purpose is. So it goes way beyond just getting a web page right
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah, love that. The confidence that it comes with. And you're right. Some of those questions do kind of force people to really think about like, why am I doing what I'm doing? And like the services that I offer, why do they matter and ladder up to that bigger picture? That's
Exactly.
awesome. That's the best kind of feedback. And honestly, it's like metrics aside, like that's the best kind of, reaction that you can get to a new business is that confidence that you go out into the world with now that you have the sort of the pillars that you're laying your business on. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's incredible. Well, is there anything else that you would like to say about, daytime or your business? Any little nuggets of knowledge that you want to leave people with, whether it could even be about your own business, or just your own process, anything else?
Honestly, like I'm so honored that I got to work with you, and I feel like if you are even questioning anything that you do and you offer, like to jump right in on it, because I just was so blown away. And every single one of my colleagues who asks me about my website, it's like you have to go to Daytime Design. She's the best. Because it was such a great process. And I don't know many people that would say that building out a web page is a great process, but it really was.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much again for taking time. And again, everyone or anyone, if anyone is listening, go check out Dr. K. Her work is awesome. And as a mama myself, and again on my third birth, I am like truly looking at my birth process and plan in a whole different way because of people like you. And so that's what makes me excited to do my work is because of amazing women like you doing your work. So thank you so much again, and I can't wait to just see how your business explodes.
Oh, thank you so much.